I just saw a clip of Cat Williams' latest stand-up. Pretty sure it's on Netflix. It's on something, probably Netflix. But either way, I saw a clip where he was talking about fluoride and how it hasn't been a single study about how it's actually good for you. And I haven't used fluoride in years. So the reason why that is because I started picking up on different people who have gone down this rabbit hole and figured out what it was really about. And fluoride, look up the Fluoride Action Network. That's a good place to start with Googling, what fluoride is all about. Because the first thing people will think is like, well, it's recommended by 9 out of 10 dentists. Of course it is, because it keeps them in business. Like, when you start putting two and two together, it starts to make sense why a lot of shit is the way that it is. But I stopped using fluoride toothpaste maybe, at this point, let me think. It's been over a decade. And my teeth are great. They're in great shape. And the thing about that shit is, when you realize that a lot of these companies have waste byproducts that they got to figure out something to do with, and they got to put it somewhere legally to get rid of it, it'll make sense as to why there's so much bullshit in the water, there's so much bullshit in the food, there's so much bullshit in products that you use day to day. You just rubbing it all over yourself, putting it all in your bloodstream. Because you see, the FDA will say, well, the FDA said it's legal. Well, the FDA says a lot of shit is legal. FDA says a lot of shit is legal to do. And you go to other countries, like for instance, you go to Japan, you go to Europe, our food is not allowed at all. Like, at all. They do not allow our food, like, imported from America, a lot of it, because it's so fucked up and it's so full of so many chemicals that are not allowed by their FDA. So just because our FDA says it's okay, that doesn't mean anything. In their business, just like anybody else. And they set the benchmark that determines how the businesses in this country run. That doesn't mean it's a universal law. So, like, if a company wants to go to Japan, let's say Frito-Lay, a lot of companies, if they want to go to and sell their products over there, they have to build a plant and abide by the laws that are set by that country if they want to sell their product. And that's how their legal ramifications work. But fluoride fucks up your teeth. And even though they might say it's okay in small quantities, use your own deduction. Do your own research about what it does to the pineal gland, how it calcifies it, and what your pineal gland is designed to do while you are in this physical space, what it allows you to see, what powers it gives you, and how fluoride directly impacts how that it shuts that motherfucker down, shuts it down. Okay, so I stopped using that shit a long time ago, and when I realized what the finesse about it was. But it's interesting because it goes for a lot of things like that. I'll see, like, I saw a commercial not too long ago about pipe cleaner, some type of Drano pipe cleaner, something like that, and it was recommended by plumbers. Of course it is, because it's going to destroy your pipes and you're going to have to call a plumber to fix it. Like, it's just, I know I talk about how, you don't need to make a conspiracy theory your identity. There's a fine line, right? Pick up these things, learn about what it is for you, and do or don't accordingly. But at the same time, don't make it your identity to be, a truther. There's a way you can do it. And there's but at the same time, like, it's a lot of crazy shit out here. And once you start figuring out one thing, it takes you It's easy to see why the world is the way it is. But you don't have to look at it in the sense of, oh, everything is just terrible. You know, everything, there's avenues for you to get around whatever, if you so choose. It don't have to be, because you can get caught up in the thing, I'm just exhausted, everything is a lie, everything is foul, everything is fucked up, and why is the world like this? It's just like, don't put so much into it where you make it into a religion. But if you can do it, find a different avenue. Like, there's so many companies out there that sell fluoride-free toothpaste. And why is that? Because there's clearly a market for people who don't want that shit in their mouth and don't want it in their bloodstream. Me being one of them. So, and wanted to shout out to goddamn Uncle Harry's, okay? Shout out to them, and I can't think of the other one that I use. It's got hypoxy something apatate, which is a mineral that can actually help remineralize your teeth and help rebuild the minerals and things of that nature that fight cavities and prevent cavities from happening. I think it's hypoxy apatate, something of that nature. But you have enough information to do your own Googles and do your own research. But there's ways around it. There's always a way. You know, it don't necessarily mean you got to fight everything, because it's like you'll end up having to put yourself in a bubble, and because it's everywhere, it's in the air, it's in the water, it's in the food. But whatever is important to you and whatever is most accessible to you right now in your mind, do it. You know what I'm saying? A little change ain't gonna hurt nothing. You know, like some people, like, they only drink water out of glass bottles because they don't want the microplastics. And I'm not that invested to do all of that. When I get to a place of being able to do it, then of course, yeah. But I'm not gonna go broke trying to do it either. You know, one thing at a time. And on that note, something else I can give you, okra. Okay? Okra is great at pulling microplastics out of you. Ding. So, and it's and you can buy okra supplements on, I got mine off Amazon. So, I take okra when I can remember to do it, because I'm not making this shit into a religion. I do it when I can, because it's everywhere. You know, you're gonna have to shrink wrap yourself in order to move through the earth. But the point is, you can find workarounds, and also don't give it so much power that if you don't battle and tackle every single thing, that your demise is imminent. You know, just do what you can with what you got. But that's all I got. Look into fluoride. Look at what it does. If you want to crest it up, you know, Arm and Hammer it up, keep doing your thing. You know, do your thing. But I personally don't fuck with that shit. And I don't fuck with it for a reason. Look up the Fluoride Action Network. That's a good place to start. And look up okra and what it does to microplastics. And how it's a great little sponge for those. So, yeah. That's all I got. Until next time, adios.